Mother Angelica said, Saint Jerome used to hit himself with a rock every time he lost his temper. I'd be dead as a doornail with no ribs if I did that. A lot of Catholics today may feel the same, especially considering the state of the world. It might be easy to feel angry or lose your temper at times. Before going further, I feel like I should note that there are two different types of anger. St. John Chrysostom says, "He that is angry without cause shall be in danger, but he that is angry with cause shall not be in danger. For without anger, teaching will be useless, judgments unstable, and crimes unchecked." I think Blessed Stephen Curti exhibited righteous anger when he fought off communists with his own fists when they tried forcing him to close his church during the push to make Albania a communist, atheist country. Like Mother Angelica, however, some saints have recognized when they were struggling with the wrong type of anger. Some of the greatest saints of the Catholic Church, like St. Francis de Sales and St. Vincent de Paul, work to overcome fiery tempers. In this video, we will examine some of the more modern examples of holy Catholics who struggled to control their temper at times. I think that learning about them can help us control our own tempers and ask for their intercession when needed. Blessed Enrico Rebuschini was an Italian man who wanted to become a priest, but he was impeded in his studies by his depression. When he joined the seminary for the final time, he was annoyed by some of his younger classmates and their relative immaturity. "I am letting myself be taken in," he wrote, "by fits of antipathy towards one of my holy companions. Sometimes he asks me about my studies, and instead of replying gently and just satisfying his question in a friendly manner, I answer this question irritably. I don't want you to ask me anything. All this is the fruit of pride combined with a lack of union with my companions in love." He recognized that he needed to be more charitable towards others, even when they annoyed him. He became a great hero of charity, helping the poor and the sick. Some people regarded him as a living saint before his death in 1938. Young Frenchman Marcel Callo was also annoyed by his peers. He joined a Catholic Workers' Association made up of men who didn't really take the faith very seriously. He was greatly offended by some of their words and actions, and he was quick to express his anger with them. Over time, he learned to control his feelings of anger and channel them into a calm defense of the truth. He said, "We are often poor instruments in the hands of God because we have bad habits, bad inclinations. Every day I must be a little more conformed to Christ." Marcel was imprisoned by the Nazis for, they said, being too much of a Catholic. He died in a concentration camp at the age of 23. Even saints and blesseds renowned for their patience and humility can experience anger. Blessed Cyprian Tansi was a Nigerian monk who was described as a living example of patience and charity. He lived in England as a monk for 13 years. At the end of his life, he was set to be transferred back to Nigeria to open a monastery, but plans changed at the last minute, and in his disappointment, he lost his temper. His fellow monks said that this was the only time they had ever seen him angry. He quickly recovered himself and accepted the decision as God's will. I like this example because it shows that even the most patient people aren't perfect. Unlike Cyprian, St. Elizabeth of the Trinity definitely lost her temper more than once. Growing up, she was actually known for her fiery temper. She started to become more calm after taking her first communion. In a school assignment, she wrote, "I am by no means a model of patience, but I have learned to control myself, and I do not hold grudges." She entered a Carmelite monastery when she was 21. She is remembered today for her spiritual writings and her profound spirituality. She was canonized in 2016. Leonie Martin, the sister of Saint Therese of Lisieux, was also known for her poor temper growing up. She had frequent outbursts that led her mother, Saint Zélie, to say, "The poor child has plenty of faults." Her outbursts actually led her to be expelled from school. It was later revealed that a maid had been beating and abusing Leonie behind her parents' backs. This difficult upbringing could have led Leonie to continue living an angry life into adulthood, but she did not. As an adult, Leonie tried multiple times to join the religious life, but she didn't successfully become a nun until she was 35. She later described her childhood as a time of great suffering, but rather than continue to carry anger about it, she said, "Blessed be those days and years spent in tears, for they did me much good." These are just a few examples of people who are on the path to sainthood in the Catholic Church who experience problems controlling their temper. I think they're really inspirational, and I hope you did too.